glamours, I would like to be an ambassador.
When I grow up, I would like to be a pilot. I would like to be a musician or an actress or a broadcaster.
When I grow up, I would like to be a lawyer.
I'm in Form 1. I'd like to be a professional footballer.
When I grow up, I would like to be Minister of Education.
Things are not what they used to be.
350,000 girls in this country that are missing school every month because they lack sanitary pads.
We know, we just ignore it.
An extra year of education reduces infant mortality between 5 to 10%. Girls who stay in school are 4 times more likely to be virgins than those who drop out, reducing the incidence of HIV and early pregnancy dramatically.
Those who doesn't have sanitary towels, they use rags, a piece of cloth or a cotton.
Some can use clean pieces of clothes. We use tissues. We just buy a tissue and then you use it, but I don't think it is healthy to our bodies.
Some people use jeans.
Some don't clean pieces of cloth.
Many of the girls tell us that they have pieces of cloth now, that's what they use.
Sasa upata kijana uko nje akiku approach akiutaka kwa sababu imagine una need hiyo pesa ya pad, una need.
It has been a very big challenge whereby they are doing also sexuality so that they can get money to go and buy the sanitary towels.
They have big dreams. Most of them have shared with us what they want to be in future. And missing school 5 days in every month is a big chunk of schooling.
So when they lack them, many of them miss in the classes. They offer to sleep instead.
If you can take away and decide, I'm going to take away those families and I'm going to take care of this child perpetually, you will enable a woman to develop, you will enable a woman to finish school, enable a woman to come out and contribute to her own personal growth.
Where is my hope? Where is my song? Who is my hope? Who is my song? Hey, I am my hope. I am my song. I am the answer to the questions that I have. Barabara natembea ni refu na ni ngumu na mimi sina
Growing up as a Maasai girl is, first of all, just growing up as a Maasai kid out here is the best childhood I think you could ever have. There's just so much space. It's nothing but sky and open spaces, and it's just it's fantastic for the brain, for the heart even. For the average Maasai girl, you grew up, got to early teenagehood, went through circumcision by FGM, or rite of passage by FGM, and then a couple of years later, maybe 3 years later, you got married.
Sometimes girls go through many circumstances, like FGM, maybe false marriage.
And so not a lot of girls go all the way through to high school, and very few get to primary school, and then of course even fewer get into high school.
Our girls, they are rescuing girls from the Maasai community, majority of them, and they were rescued from marriages. So their parents, most of the parents do not cater for their needs. For example, the school fees, what they require, like the personal effects. So we have to make sure that these girls feel that they are at home, they feel comfortable in school.
You know, there's not a lot of choices for a lot of girls. The world isn't as big as it is for, some random girl living in the city or something like that. And so education is pretty important.
And I believe so much that women are the backbone of this country. So many. Sawa. So you're not here to pass time. This is a key. Let me tell you the truth. It is a key, and it will unlock very many doors for you. We can change the world. We can change Africa. We can change Kenya if we work hard, yeah, and make it such a much, much, much better place.
And I'm glad that my dad chose to take us all to school, all the way. A lot of my cousins now are going to high school. Some of them were married off, but then a lot more than were before are in high school, have graduated from high school, are in college. I have a cousin who's in a college in town, and it feels really, really good for her to be there. And when I'm able to meet, because my dad got an education. He was the only one from this village, from like his family, who got an education from a young age, and it totally changed the life of this whole area. Just him, we have a school. He's put up a school. There's a church. There's a clinic coming up, and all this is because he was exposed to to a bigger world.
If you know it, sing with me. Jiwe la nguvu, jumba la ustawi, my rock, my fortress, I am home. Jiwe la nguvu, jumba la ustawi, my rock, my fortress, I am home. Again. Jiwe la nguvu, jumba la ustawi, my rock, my fortress, I am home.
Across the savannah, the sun is rising, spreading its light, touching our soul. Our spirit cannot be corrupted, but it changes all who touch it. Our joy is real.
Distributing sanitary towels is very important to the girls, because not all of them who come from families whose parents can afford them. They have been having problems because the parents cannot afford to pay the school fees and also to buy the other basic needs, especially the sanitary towels. The parents do ignore. They know that their children have reached the stage of having monthly period, but they cannot afford them. So that will help them to be comfortable once they have their monthly periods, and it will help them to learn well without any disturbance.
Due to this, at least niko na packet mingi zenye zitakuwa zinani enable. Juu nilikuwa natumia kamoja hivi, saa zingine nakaa na hepa shule ndio nisi lose, yani nisianze kuzi waste kwa sababu akukuwa do. So I appreciate them. I appreciate the Zana company.
We are appealing, even this is a government position, that our girls get sanitary assistant. You understand the president was saying is that the government is supporting those sanitary assistant to the schools, to the girls. So actually we are very happy when we got donors like you, and even the Ministry of Health. They are working on that. They are assisting the people.
If the Ministry of Education was involved in like what ZanaA is doing, yeah, but in such a public and non-shy way, because they are sort of a leading voice in the society, it would make it okay for dads to talk about it. It will make it okay for daughters to ask dads about it. Make it okay for daughters to ask big brothers about it. Make it okay for mothers to talk about it among themselves. And so I think the important voices in society have to talk about it in a very blunt way